When you're learning something new, the best way to start is always with what you already know. So, let's start with something simple. Something you guys can do with your eyes shut at the moment. I'm going to give you a problem. It's a simple problem, not that shut. And I want you to solve it. Just have a look at it, have a go at it. It won't take you long. Okay, so here's the problem. A slight moment of panic as you were thinking, wait, this is too easy. I wonder if there's some hidden thing in there. No, that's it. You should have arrived if you went through the working. And this is a good, logical, detailed way to set it out. Solution 1, solution 2. 3, -1. You happy with that? Thumbs up. Excellent. Okay, so hold on a second before I move any further. What are these called? This is all I wrote on the board. What are they called?
Equations.
We call them simultaneous equations, don't we? Simultaneous equations. Yes, that was going to be my second guess, right? Now, I want to give you a rather more sophisticated and specific way to describe what these are. These are more than just simultaneous equations, right? So on the side of where you've done your working here, I want you to label this as such. This is more than just simultaneous equations. We would call this a system of, now, it's a system because it's a collection of interrelated parts that work together. That's what system means. But what kinds of equations are these? They're not just any equations. They have a lot in common. What kind of equations are they?
Linear.
They're linear, very good, right? So can you see why they're linear?
Because they form a straight line.
If you use these two variables and plot them on a set of axes, right? In this case, an a-axis and a b-axis, right? Or a b-axis and an a-axis, whichever, doesn't matter. You get straight lines. Not that complicated, right? What would we have to do to make them not linear equations?
Square.
You could add a power, you could add in an exponential, all those kinds of things, and you would not get straight lines anymore. So this is a system of linear equations. Okay, you happy with that? Okay. Now how do we solve it? How do we go through this? Well, let's note a few things. Number one, your goal, your endpoint, it was very simple, right? And it was quite straightforward. What were you heading towards? You just wanted what that value was and what that value was. That was the first thing in this, that the endpoint, the goal, is simple. I know where I'm going, okay? Number two, the method that you all used to get there, and you probably had something similar to this even if you didn't have exactly the same thing, right? Was all using the same tools. What kinds of mathematical knowledge did you need to know? Dig back. What things do you already know that allowed you to do this? I heard algebra, right? What else?
Addition.
Yeah, arithmetic, right? Did you need to know anything else really? I think that was basically it. Substitution, I suppose, is a part of algebra. Subset, I guess. Okay. So the method you've got is also quite straightforward. One more thing I want to notice. The a and the b, right? The constants that you were solving for. The constants didn't really, what they're called doesn't matter, right? They're immaterial to the solution. I could have changed the a and the b into a c and a d, or an x and a y. Doesn't matter. They're just labels, right? And at the end, you will get the same numbers, whatever letters you put, whatever labels you put on those, okay? So I want to take these three facts and introduce you to another way of solving these simultaneous equations, or working out this system of linear equations, okay? Now, just put your pens down for a second. We're about to learn a new way of doing something. Whoops, didn't want to put that down. Whenever you learn something new, it's really tricky, especially when you know how to do this and you're like, why should I learn a new way of doing this when I already have an old way? Okay, I'm struggling with this with my children because they're the age where they're like learning to write and that kind of thing. And if any of you have younger brothers and sisters, you know that when you first see one of these things as like a baby or something, the way you pick it up is not the way you pick it up now. Pick up your pen right now and mimic how would a little baby or a toddler, how would they pick it up? And the answer is yes, thank you very much. You'd hold it like this, right? Because that's the only way you know how. That was really quick, kind of scary. Anyway, that's okay. So that's the natural way, right? And my children, I'm trying to teach them to hold it differently. And they're like, why? Why? I know a way to hold these things. It works fine. And this way is awkward and gives me cramps. Once you learn, once you master this grip, you can do heaps more stuff.